Ladies and gentlemen, I want to ask you a simple question. What do you believe about yourself? Not just what you say out loud, but deep inside, in the quiet places where your real thoughts live. Because the answer to that question determines everything. Napoleon Hill spent over 20 years studying the most successful people of his time. Andrew Carnegie, Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, and many others. What he discovered was something far more powerful than money, skill, or even talent. He found that success is born in the mind. It's not a result of luck or opportunity. It is created by thought. Think about it. Every building, every invention, every business, they all began as an invisible thought in someone's mind. That thought, fueled by belief and action, became reality. And Hill believed that the same principle applies to every person's life. You are not limited by your circumstances, your past, or your surroundings. You are only limited by your mindset. And yet most people never take control of this incredible power. They allow fear, doubt, and negativity to fill their minds. They repeat phrases like, "I'm not good enough. I can't do that." Or, "That's impossible for someone like me." But what if I told you that the only difference between success and failure is the quality of your thoughts? Napoleon Hill wrote, "You are the master of your fate, the captain of your soul, because you have the power to control your thoughts." That's not just motivational fluff. That's a powerful truth. You control the one thing that determines your future, your thinking. So today we're going to explore what it means to think like Napoleon Hill. We're going to break down the core mindset that helped ordinary people achieve extraordinary things. We'll talk about definiteness of purpose, knowing exactly what you want. We'll uncover the role of faith and belief, not in the religious sense, but in the power to believe in yourself. We'll look at persistence, the ability to keep going when everything says stop. And we'll dive into how to influence your subconscious mind, which is the engine running your life 24/7, whether you realize it or not. But first, I want you to remember this. You are not a victim of life. You are a creator. Everything starts in your mind. Your future, your habits, your health, your wealth, your success, it all begins with thought. If you can change your thoughts, you can change your life. And that's exactly what this speech and this journey is all about. Let me ask you something. Do you know what you want out of life? I don't mean a vague answer like, "I want to be happy" or "I want to be rich." I mean exactly what you want, down to the details. Napoleon Hill said the starting point of all achievement is definiteness of purpose. And this, my friends, is where most people fail. Before they even begin, they drift through life like a ship without a compass, letting the winds of circumstances control their direction. But the truly successful, the ones who leave a legacy, they live with clarity. They have a target and they aim at it every single day. Think about it. If you don't know where you're going, how will you ever get there? Purpose is not just a motivational word. It's a GPS for your life. Without it, you're guessing. With it, you're building. Hill believed that when you know exactly what you want and you commit to it with burning desire, life starts to open doors. Your mind begins to filter information differently. Opportunities you ignored before suddenly stand out. People and resources seem to appear out of nowhere. That's not magic. That's focused intention in action. He wrote about a young man named Edwin C. Barnes who decided he would become a business partner of Thomas Edison. Not an employee, not a student, a partner. That was his definite purpose. Now keep in mind, Barnes had no money, no connections, and no obvious way to reach Edison. But he made a decision so strong, he burned all backup plans. He showed up at Edison's office with one goal, to work alongside him. At first, Edison gave him a low-level job. Most people would have given up, but not Barnes. His purpose kept him going. Months later, an opportunity came. Edison launched a new product, and none of his top salesmen were interested in it. Barnes saw his chance, stepped up, and sold it like wildfire. Eventually, he became Edison's right-hand man, just like he had envisioned. That's the power of definite purpose. It pulls you through rejection. It gives you strength when you're tired. It makes the impossible feel possible because your mind is locked in. So how do you create your definite purpose? Start with these 3 steps. 1. Get specific. Don't just say, I want success. Say, I want to earn $100,000 a year by building an online business that helps people improve their mindset. The clearer you are, the more your mind knows what to look for. 2. Write it down. Napoleon Hill said, a goal not written down is merely a wish. Write your purpose down in the present tense. Read it every morning and night. Program it into your subconscious like a script. 3. Back it with burning desire. Purpose without emotion is weak. You must want it deeply. You must feel it. You must picture it every day. That's when your mind starts to believe it's real. And when it believes, it creates. You don't have to figure everything out today, but you do need to make a decision. Who do you want to become? What do you want to build? What will you no longer tolerate? When you're clear about your purpose, the journey becomes powerful. You stop reacting to life and start creating it, and that is what separates the average from the exceptional. So I challenge you, tonight, write your definite purpose. Be bold, be specific, and commit to reading it every single day. Because once your mind locks onto a goal with clarity and passion, the universe begins to move with you. That is the power of definite purpose. Let's keep going. Let's be honest. The idea of believing in yourself sounds simple, almost too simple. But I want you to understand something today. Belief is not a motivational concept. It's a mental power source. Without belief, your definite purpose has no engine. Without belief, your goals remain stuck in your imagination. Napoleon Hill said that faith is the state of mind that may be induced by autosuggestion. In other words, you can train yourself to believe. Faith doesn't just show up. It's built one thought at a time through repetition, emotion, and focus. Let me put it plainly. If you don't believe in what you're doing, neither will the world. Every successful person in history has faced doubt from others, from society, and yes, from within themselves. But they learned how to plant stronger beliefs than fears. They learned to hold a vision of their future with such intensity that the world had no choice but to catch up. Look at any great achiever. Steve Jobs, Oprah Winfrey, Elon Musk, or even someone like Henry Ford. None of them started with perfect conditions. They started with an idea, a burning desire, and unshakable belief in what they were doing. Ford once said, "Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right." That's not just a catchy quote. That's the truth of how the mind works. Now here's the key. Belief is emotionalized thought. Just thinking about something isn't enough. You must charge that thought with emotion, passion, excitement, confidence. That's when the subconscious mind picks it up and begins to act on it. This is where autosuggestion comes in. Napoleon Hill taught that repeating your definite purpose out loud with emotion programs your belief system. It bypasses logic, it overrides fear, and with time, it creates certainty. So how do you develop unshakable belief? Let me give you 3 powerful tools. 1. Affirm with emotion. Don't just read your goal, feel it. Say it out loud every morning and night. I am confidently building a successful business that impacts lives and creates freedom. Say it with fire. Emotion is the delivery system to the subconscious. 2. Visualize your success. Daily, your brain doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. It believes what you feed it repeatedly. See yourself already living your purpose. The home, the impact, the joy. Make it real in your mind, and your belief will grow with it. 3. Reject doubt. Immediately, fear will knock. Doubt will whisper. But belief is a muscle. And every time you reject fear, you strengthen it. Tell yourself, that is not who I am. I believe in my vision. I am doing this. Speak it until it becomes your truth. Remember, no one else has to believe in your dream, but you must. Your belief is the signal that attracts people, opportunities, and momentum. When you believe in something fully, others feel it, and many will follow. And if you're thinking, but what if I fail? Let me remind you of something Napoleon Hill wrote. Faith removes limitations. It does not guarantee ease, it guarantees power. So speak your purpose, see your vision, and walk forward as if it's already yours. Because belief is not about being certain of the path, it's about being committed to the outcome. You were born with the power to believe. Now it's time to use it. Let's move forward. Let me ask you something important. How many people do you know who started something with excitement and then gave up when it got hard? Maybe it was a business idea, a weight loss journey, a personal goal, a dream. They started strong, but when life pushed back, they backed down. That's where the story ends for most people. But for the few who keep going, even when it's hard, even when no one believes in them, that's where the story begins. Napoleon Hill called persistence the iron quality of success. He said it's the one thing that can substitute for almost everything else: talent, education, money, even opportunity. If you just refuse to quit, eventually you win. Think about it. Most people fail not because they don't have what it takes, but because they quit too soon. One of the most powerful stories Hill ever told was about a man digging for gold during the Colorado Gold Rush. This man invested everything he had, time, energy, and money, but found nothing. So he gave up, sold the equipment, and walked away. The man who bought the tools hired a mining engineer and discovered that gold was just 3 feet away from where the first man had stopped. 3 feet. He gave up inches before his breakthrough. How many people are doing that right now? How many dreams are being abandoned 3 feet from gold? How many lives are left half-built because someone got tired, discouraged, or distracted? You see, persistence isn't a skill, it's a decision to keep going when the feelings fade, a decision to try again after failure, a decision to believe that everything you want is on the other side of consistent action. And here's the truth. If you keep going long enough, you separate yourself from 95% of people. Why? Because most people stop when it's hard, but not you. You're learning to think like Napoleon Hill, and Hill's mind was built to endure. So how do you build that kind of persistence? Let me give you 3 tools. 1. Know your why. Your purpose fuels your persistence. When your reason is strong enough, your excuses lose power. Ask yourself, why must I succeed? Who will it impact? What does my future depend on? Keep those answers in front of you. 2. Turn obstacles into fuel. Most people see problems as stop signs. You must see them as signals to go harder. Every setback is a test, not of your ability, but of your commitment. Repeat after me, this is not the end. This is part of my story. 3. Create daily discipline. Persistence is not one big push. It's a series of small, consistent actions. Wake up and do the work, even when you don't feel like it. Discipline today creates freedom tomorrow, and that freedom is worth every struggle. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to move fast. You just need to keep going. Because the truth is, success is not always about talent. It's about endurance. Those who win are simply those who refuse to quit. You may be 3 feet from gold right now. You may be closer than you think. So don't stop. Don't give in. Don't walk away from your own breakthrough. You've come too far to quit now. Keep going. Keep building. Keep believing. And one day you'll look back and realize it was persistence that built your legacy. Let's move to the final part of this journey. If there's one secret most people never discover, it's this. Your subconscious mind is always working, day and night, while you sleep, while you eat, while you walk through your day. It's absorbing, filtering, and acting on the thoughts you feed it, whether you're aware of it or not. That's why Napoleon Hill said that success is not just about hard work. It's about mental programming. You see, most people are not living out their goals. They're living out their programming. And that programming was often shaped years ago by parents, teachers, media, trauma, or repeated failure. Somewhere along the line, people started believing thoughts like, I'm not good enough. Success isn't for people like me. I'll always struggle. I'm too old, too young, too average. And here's the scary part. The subconscious accepts any idea that's repeated with emotion, even if it's false. And once it accepts an idea, it works nonstop to make that idea reality. But here's the good news. You can reprogram it. You can take control of what your mind believes, and when you do, everything changes. So how do you do it? Here are 3 steps based on Napoleon Hill's teaching. 1. Repetition of positive thought. Autosuggestion. Hill emphasized autosuggestion, repeating your definite purpose out loud with emotion every day. Why? Because repeated thought becomes belief, and belief, when mixed with feeling, becomes your reality. So take your written goal and say it out loud every morning and night. Speak as if it's already true. I am building a successful business that impacts millions and brings me freedom. Do this for weeks and watch your subconscious begin to accept it. 2. Visualization. Close your eyes and picture the life you desire. Imagine it in detail. The sounds, sights, feelings. Your subconscious doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's vividly imagined. If you feed it powerful images daily, it will work to make them come true. Olympic athletes use this technique. Top CEOs use it. You can too. 3. Guard your mind daily. What you read, watch, and listen to shapes your mental programming. Limit negative input. Avoid toxic people. Surround yourself with growth, ideas, and people who speak possibility. Think of your mind like a garden. If you don't plant positive seeds, weeds will grow by default. Let me remind you of something powerful Hill taught. Your subconscious mind will translate into reality any desire which is held in the mind repeatedly, backed by faith. Not just once, not just when you feel good, repeatedly, with belief. So stop telling yourself why it won't work and start programming your mind to make it work. Stop focusing on fear and feed your mind with faith, because what you feed the subconscious, it creates. And one day the world will look at your life and call it luck or talent. But you'll know it was programmed on purpose. Your mind is your most powerful asset. Master it, and you master your future. Conclusion. Let's bring it all together. It starts with thought. That thought becomes a goal, a definite purpose. That purpose becomes belief. That belief fuels persistence. And all of it is locked into your subconscious, which turns it into reality. This is not theory. This is not hype. This is the legacy of Napoleon Hill. And now it's your journey too. So go forward. Speak your purpose. Believe in your mission. Persist no matter what. And reprogram your mind until success is no longer a possibility, but a certainty. Think like Napoleon Hill and change your life.